Hi, I'm George. Welcome to MedEV. Today's topic is about a particular country that has factories of Mercedes, BMW, and Audi at the same time. The first one, of course, is Germany. The second, also easy to guess, is China. But the third might not be that obvious. It's Hungary. Ever since Hungary joined the EU in 2004, it has been a go-to spot for German car companies looking for a new base. People even started calling it the Detroit of Europe. But Hungary saw its overdependence on the European market and the labor-intensive industry unsustainable. So it figured it was the time to find a new path to upgrade and diversify. So that's when China and Hungary started working together. They are focusing on making EVs and batteries, along with other related business. This partnership is turning out to be a win-win for both the European and Chinese auto industry. And here is how it works. Joining the EU turned Hungary into a manufacturing and assembly base for the West and a supplier for big international companies. But this didn't really close the gap between Hungary and the more developed EU countries. So in 2010, Hungary introduced the Eastern Opening Policy, trying to bring in more innovative tech and get more foreign companies to set up regional hubs. This was all about making its industrial structure more advanced. And this move brought Hungary closer to China. By 2015, 2 years after China launched the Belt and Road Initiative, Hungary was the first European country to get on board. Since then, it has made full use of China's leading industries to elevate its own, while in the meantime becoming an important pathway for Chinese products to get into the European market. After years of collaboration, China has become Hungary's biggest trading partner outside of Europe, and also its largest foreign investor. In 2023, Hungary got more than 13 billion euros in foreign direct investment, 58% of which came from China. And this 7.6 billion helped create over 10,000 jobs. What's more important is that Hungary is quite independent in foreign policy and doesn't despise Eastern ideology. Even when many Western countries were trying to distance themselves from China, Hungary was still willing to help Chinese business get into Europe. This includes the EV industry, which is looking very promising right now. In January this year, BYD, the biggest EV maker in the world, signed a preliminary sales and purchase agreement with Hungary, planning to build a production base in Szeged, which will be the first Chinese passenger car factory in Europe and the largest foreign investment in Hungary's history. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. In September 2022, NIO's first battery swap station was manufactured by its Hungarian plant, which will be in charge of producing all swap stations for Europe. What's more, 5 of the top 10 global battery makers have set up shop in Hungary, including CATL, Xinwangda, and EVE Energy from China. For example, EVE Energy is building a factory in Debrecen, Hungary, to produce batteries which are intended for BMW's local plant. The battery industry boom is also boosting the upstream. Many battery component suppliers from China are setting up in Hungary. By 2030, Hungary is expected to produce over 200 gigawatt-hours of batteries, becoming Europe's largest battery producer, with over 87% linked to Chinese companies. Of course, one driving force behind the surge is the Hungarian government support, which includes favorable CIT VAT tariffs and ground lease, alongside funding for tech innovation and product development. So with these benefits, Hungary is turning into a favorite spot for Chinese EV industry to set up factories and branch out into Europe. Moreover, as EU pushes for more local production for EV parts, building factories in Europe for industrial chain is bound to become a global trend. Hungary, a EU member, is in the center of the stage, playing a big role in the development of European EV industry. China is not the risk. It is the economic isolation between China and Europe that poses the risk. When the auto industry is facing a once-in-100-years transformation, neither traditional nor emerging automotive powers can thrive all on its own. While the structure of the global auto industry may see some changes, it will all come back to the direction of win-win cooperation. Protectionism is something that does not align with this trajectory. The cooperation between Hungary and China is an excellent example, and we believe it will surely lead to a stellar success.